Hi. Is Kylie here or Matt Wilson?
Matt is not here. He's not on site. And who else did you want?
Kylie?
Yes, that would be great.
Kylie starts with an E, I think.
She's in the sheriff's office.
She's in the sheriff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so go out this hall. To your right is last.
Do you know if Garrett's here? Hit the
I
doorbell.
don't.
And,
He's at the end of the hall. You'll have to.
yeah, I hit the doorbell, but
Yeah.
I could have sworn I heard people back there. But nobody answered the door.
I think they're in a meeting.
Are they?
I
Okay.
know our deputy attorney is in a meeting in the commission room, but I think they might. I know the last time I went over there to check, they were in a meeting. So.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
Green Bay.
We'll be back in a little bit. Yep. Yeah, that's a pretty bad crime. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Come stand
Oh, sorry.
I'm looking for Kylie.
Kylie, she's gone home for the day.
She has?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, so I'm trying to find out the answers to some questions. And,
Okay.
maybe you can, I don't know. I have a feeling that she was the one that arbitrarily denied my grammar request.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to find out if it was a decision that she made or if it was a decision that Matt Wilson made on the grammar.
On an initial, that'll go through the records clerks, but if you appeal, then it goes to the commission.
Right, so it was her decision to deny it then.
Off of state statute, then
Well,
we can deny
yeah,
them. Yes.
Yeah. So here's the issue now.
Are you filming now?
I am.
Okay, can we step outside? There's just, like we can't have, there's personal information in here. If you're okay with that.
I mean that's so so yeah, I spoke with Matt on the phone earlier.
Mm-hmm.
As I told Garrett yesterday, this is something that I draw a hard line in the sand on as far as giving my physical address out, because I've actually gotten doxxed by 2 different cities. My private information, my address sent out to 139 law enforcement officers with false information. So it's, long story short, I'm a journalist, I'm an author, I've been retaliated against and doxxed. I've been gaslighted. Doxxed, meaning basically throwing personal information out there to people that don't need to have it, is basically what doxed is.
Yeah, if a law enforcement officer did that, that's,
It's, but they have to have probable cause to actually do it. There's not, I mean, so you think that just because they're a law enforcement officer, just because they have a badge and a uniform, that means that they can take somebody's personal private information?
No, they cannot do that. So
but
that's not what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying happened with me, and so that's why I'm saying
that might have happened with you, but they handle people's personal information all the time, so they're not supposed to disseminate that.
Well, but what I'm saying is it's actually an active case right now. So it's backed up by evidence. So it's not like it's something that I'm saying just I'm throwing out there as a conspiracy theory. No, this legitimately happened, and because it happened, I don't take any chances anymore. And
I can understand that.
But I told Matt earlier, I would be willing to give my post office box address. And he said that post office boxes don't count. I looked up the statute. In fact,
The statute
Garrett,
says mailing address.
mailing address. And I tried to tell him that. He said that basically that I told him he needs to, this is his job, basically. He's trying to outsource it to Garrett and say that, it's on him. These are stall tactics. I need this information. I'm a member of the
What was your name?
Don Matthews.
Okay.
I'm a member of the press. I have We the People News, and I need these records. And so also the issue was arbitrarily and capriciously, I guess Kylie denied my fee waiver. Now the state of Utah actively promotes members of the press, of the media, when it comes to information that would benefit the public through dissemination, transparency. That's where that fee applies, and that's exactly what I applied for. These records don't they don't help me personally. This is a matter of free press, okay, and that's why I requested that fee waiver. But without any questions asked or anything looking into it, she just immediately marked denied. And that's, I mean, honestly, that's a violation of my rights right there. I can easily prove that this is for dissemination of the public.
If it's a certain case you're referring to, that's
It's
depends on what.
It's
It's your opinion if you view it this way. It may be another person's opinion if they view it another way.
But she didn't deny me for that. I was simply denied because I didn't put an address down. And I was even told when I filled out the form that an email address alone would be fine.
It's not
But-
under state statute. It specifically says that, and I believe you were sent that. You have to provide a
No.
mailing address.
And that's fine. I'll provide my post office box address, but I would just like to get my public records. You know, I mean, I feel like, the county, honestly, I feel like from the pushback I've gotten that there's something in those records that the county doesn't want. That's why they're pushing back so hard, and that makes me want them even, that much more.
That's totally your opinion.
Well, then all it takes is just getting me the records.
Well,
if
you go through the proper chain, and you can take it up with the records board if it's not something that you agree with.
But I don't. But see, if I give you an address, then there's no reason for it to go to the records board. What that means is that's an intentional delay
No,
tactic.
it doesn't mean that at all.
So
There's a lot of interpretations to the state statutes and laws, and that's what the records board is there for.
But,
so you
right.
can certainly
No,
utilize
but
them. That is
the
your right.
only reason why I was denied was because of an address. So if I'm providing an address, then what's the reason of denial?
Have you sent in another request with your mailing address?
No, I came up here to update it onto that one. It shouldn't have to start the time over. This is what I'm saying. I sure hope I can see Garrett while I'm here. I've actually, just in anticipation of all this, I've already got a lawsuit prepped up to challenge this, and I've got all the standing in the world for it.
Do you have an attorney?
No, I'm actually I've represented myself in 11 different courts. Trust me, when you see the complaint, it's you're not gonna know the difference from an attorney, drafting it than me. I've got 9 years of law experience under my belt.
Okay, so the statutes that are listed, then if you want to put in a request with your mailing address, that's a good start.
Well, but that's the sole reason it was denied. So I'm saying, let me just update it right here instead of having to fill out a whole nother request, because y'all have my request. Let me just give you my post office box address.
You can fill out another form if you'd like.
No, I can't. Well, do you want to?
can.
Well, how about you fill it out for me then? Take the other one and then you write it all out for me again.
No, you can do it.
No, that's not going to happen.
Okay, no, I'm not going to do that for you.
Well, you're absolutely ridiculous. See, these are tactics that
No,
y'all are
it's
using.
not a
No,
tactic,
it
and you're
is.
putting things into. You're
I'm-
trying to twist this around, and you're probably going to alter this video.
No, actually, no. I always upload my videos the way that they are. So, just like that right there, you just made yourself look horrible again.
Okay,
Just remember,
that's an
anything
opinion.
that you say or do can and will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. So,
I am aware of that. Okay, so if you're welcome to fill out another request with your mailing address, as it says in state statute, or you don't have to do that. That's up to you entirely.
y'all are literally just trying to find
I am not-
anything. You're trying.
No,
That's
No,
you're trying to find
That's your
any
opinion.
reason.
I'm not gonna have any more
But,
of this conversation.
Well, you are
with
going to
you.
have this conversation
No,
with him
I
because
am
you're
not.
trying to find any
Okay.
Okay, you
reason.
need to go call Todd right now, he says,
Okay,
so.
okay.
You're trying to find any reason not to comply with a lawful request is what you're trying to do. What's your name? Hey, what's your name? What's your name? Hey, man.
Hey.
So I got some issues.
Okay.
We need to have a talk.
All right. What's up?
So I spoke with Matt earlier,
Okay.
and I told him I had a post office box address, and his response was, and actually I've got it on text message. He said that post office boxes don't count as address. If you look at what you sent me yesterday, it says mailing address. A P.O. box is a mailing address. It doesn't say physical, and now that's throwing up all kinds of red. Told Morgan County, I've already had my personal private information doxed, and I'm in litigation against 2 different cities over that. And the
Right.
fact that Morgan is trying so hard to pry for my physical address sends extreme red flags.
Well, let me give you the perspective, right? Because that's what we require, just because that's what the state requires.
No,
If
the state requires a mailing address.
Well, I'm not saying what Matt said. I'm just saying what I sent to you is what the state requires.
And it says-
Let
in
me
there.
finish. Now, if we had just gone on your first request where you said an email is fine, and I haven't seen you send your address, your mailing address.
No,
So-
I came up here to give it in person. I wanted to see if I could go ahead and get my request. Your clerk down there at the what's her name at the police department
Right.
came out talking about that. I mean, she was pretty unprofessional, honestly. She made herself look horrible. But here's
Well, let me try and be professional. Let me just say why we require it. Now, we require that of everyone. If we give an exception to you, now we're giving you preferential treatment.
so
And
you're saying y'all require a physical address?
we require what the statute requires.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
the
and so if
statute-
you send me what the statute requires,
You sent me what the statute requires, and in your email that you
but
sent,
did you
it
send
says-
me a mailing address?
No, but I'm talking to you about it right
yeah.
now.
So send me the mailing address, and then we process it, right?
Well, can I fill it? Can I just write it on something for you right now?
Just email it to me. You have my email. I'm not. Are you filming right now?
Yeah.
The reason I'm not letting you in here, I thought about it after you came in last time, is we have a lot of criminal background information and it's private information. So I'm not going to let you back where the private information is. Does that
Right,
make
but-
sense?
Well, it does if
So-
you have private information out. But I mean, you should also. I mean,
We're talking in my office. We don't, you can't see any of our screens. And so I'm fine talking to you here, but I'm not going to bring you back and sit down like we did before for that reason.
well, all right. So
So if you comply with the statute, then I will respond to the grammar request just like we would anyone else. But if we give you preferential treatment, that opens us up for a lawsuit from someone claiming discrimination.
But man, look, I'm just gonna tell you right now. Look, just in anticipation of this, after I talked to Matt, I've got a freaking 6-page complaint already typed out because it's that serious to me over these documents.
And that's fine. I mean,
and I don't want to have to do that. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm literally trying to give y'all every opportunity, because there's no way the court's going to actually say, when the statute reads mailing address, the court is never going to say, especially in my situation, the fact that I have an open federal lawsuit right now against 2 cities that this actually happened, the court is going to side with me on that. I can promise you that. You should know that.
well, I mean, it goes to state records committee first, and then it goes to court, right? I mean, there's a process where you
I know-
exhaust it, and I'm not trying to
I'm
fight
gonna,
with
I'm
you.
going to skip it because I actually have
But Don,
grounds to
let
skip
me
it.
ask you a question. Have I been professional with you?
Yeah.
When you come to my door, I answer. I mean, I stayed after to send you that email last night because I missed your call. I really am trying to be professional and responsible with you. So give me the benefit of the doubt.
I am. I drove a good ways to come
I
out
will-
here. I want to get stuff done out while I'm out here.
Right, and that makes
And-
sense to me.
I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, this is honestly, it's a very concerning story that's starting to develop here, and the fact that she's trying to tell me, okay, that I can't just give my address, that I have to fill out a whole nother GRAMA request, and I actually got it on video from last time. The lady that I filled out the GRAMA request with told me just email would work. So if that's the case, if I have to fill out another one and it resets my time, then that's, once again, we get into quite a few things. But I feel like there's some viewpoint discrimination that's going on here. Talking about well, hold on.
Send me the mailing,
Yeah.
and then I can ask them to process the request. I can't tell them what to do because I'm legal counsel, but I can process the request at least, right?
All right. Well, so the other thing I needed to talk to you about is,
Here, before we go, can I ask you about? Yeah, go ahead, Lindsay.
yeah.
So she's BCI certified. So anyway, the other thing that I would just say that is concerning to me is the whole thing that brought you to my office involves a situation where someone called in a complaint, right? And now whoever is posting about that is posting her personal information
Whose person?
online.
Whose?
The person who made the complaint that initiated even our
It's
interaction together.
not me.
And I'm not saying it's you, but
you
but
can
you
check,
see
you can
why.
check my site, and it has nothing about that. So
And I'm not saying that it does,
Yeah.
but it's been posted, and there's been a lot of really terrible things that are said. And
people have said a lot of terrible things, on a daily basis on a lot of things, man. But just
right.
because they.
But what I'm
that
saying
has-
to you is the reason that I'm wanting to cross all the T's and dot all the I's is so that everyone's treated the same. We follow the statute. If you send it to me, I can facilitate it as much as I can. But I'm not going to grant an exception to the statute because in your initial request, I looked at it and I was like, oh, well, you forgot this. That's the only thing that's missing. You provide that, boom, now we're processing that request.
Okay.
And so I'm just saying, have a little bit of understanding both ways that I am worried about privacy. I'm not looking to share your information. I'm worried about the information that's being shared about one of my residents who
Right.
should not be shared.
But that's I have
And that's
nothing.
not okay.
But I have nothing to do with that. What happened to me though did legitimately happen. It's filed and there's exhibits in district court.
Yeah.
So, I know that you say that y'all wouldn't do this. I'm not taking any chances. It's the government, man. I don't trust the government. The government.
And that's fine too. But I'm just trying to give you my mind, like the processes that are going through my mind of why I would like to see the statute followed exactly. If you send it in, then I'll say, hey, from my perspective, we processed the request. Because I talked to Matt earlier today. He stopped by and he's like, hey, I just said I defer to you on this because I'm not in the weeds on the GRAMA.
Right.
I said, all right, that's fine with me. Like I can give recommendations. But I don't think Matt is going to go against my recommendation based on what the conversation I had with him today.
And that's what he told me. So that gets into the second thing, which is why I guess Kylie, and that's what I went down to the police room for, is to find out, okay, who was it that actually ultimately, and I think the answer comes down to Kylie, was the one that arbitrarily, or the one that denied the GRAMA request.
The initial request?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would also mean that it was Kylie that that denied my fee waiver. And the state of Utah actually encourages the fee waivers when it comes to members of the press. This stuff that I requested does not benefit me personally at all. It's simply for public transparency, and the fact that she actually had the audacity, and honestly, that pisses me off really bad, because I want answers on that, because it's not any, it's not just okay, well we'll grant your fee waiver. Now I want to know why, because that right there sounds like it was discriminatory, it was arbitrary, and it was capricious.
So I don't believe it would be all those things, at
I
least
do.
the legal definitions of those, but I'm happy to look into that as well.
Because there's no reason why. I mean, I literally, I had the official address.
Let me just say though, Kylie, she reached out to me and was like, hey, look at this, doesn't have the address. And so I pulled up the statute, I sent it back to her. And so I'm not going to put it on Kylie that she's the one that denied it. I said, hey, here's the statute. Here's what is missing.
But she could have just left that section blank. And instead, she chose to intentionally deny that section.
And I don't know about that, but I can look at it.
And I want to know. And so now, because of all this other stuff, now it's making me think I need to put in some more GRAMA requests to get, intercommunications to see, if there's, what else is going on. Garrett, this is not my first rodeo, man.
It's not mine either.
I know, and I've got 9 years of law experience. I know you're an attorney, okay? But I've filed in, I think, 11 different courts. I've got a lot of legal background. It's a lot of stuff that I've absorbed, and honestly, stuff like GRAMA suits, especially when it comes down to principle like this. To me, I just look at it as something to cut my teeth on, because I think that GRAMA requests, public record requests, are very important for the public to know, as far as from a transparency standpoint. So at the end of the day, it honestly isn't going to cost me anything to file a lawsuit. I'll file an informal paupers affidavit. It won't cost me anything to proceed on my own, and I've got everything prepared. So at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, what is it really? Just holding your ground on something so trivial and stupid that when I've already got, a good bit of standing from everything else that's happened. Not saying with Morgan, but I'm saying as far as having a reason to actually have this concern, as far as having a reason to potentially constitutionally challenge the GRAMA statute, as far as it, being in violation of the First Amendment. Because I believe that it puts a chill when you do stuff like that, and you make people actually get into, identifying and giving out their physical address. Then that discourages somebody from wanting to make a GRAMA request, from seeking public records. And so, in essence, you have a chilled right, because somebody doesn't want to do it because they know they're going to have to. It's not okay, and it's like. I had the same issue with the FBI.
But I'm not here to argue the GRAMA statute. At this point, I enforce the GRAMA statute, right? And if the law changes, then I will enforce it, because the one that you sent is an old one. And if that was the one that was in place, then I would enforce that one. And so I get what you're saying, but that's, and
I actually caught that mistake after I sent that.
Did you? Okay.
I was
Which
hoping,
is fine.
I knew you were gonna look into it. I mean, why wouldn't you? But
no, I mean, I had just sent it to Kylie. When she sent it to me, I was like, oh, but wait, it doesn't comply. We require everyone to comply with the current statute.
I was hoping I would slip that one past you. But I mean,
hey, we're keeping each other honest, and let me just say, I'm all about transparency. And in fact, the ironic thing is what brought you to my office initially is a manipulated video that isn't transparent about what actually transpired. And I'm in a situation where I can't release it or speak about it specifically because we have a pending criminal case.
Did you ever look into Green?
Into which?
Into green?
No, I haven't looked into green yet.
You might wanna
But I
look
have a
into it.
manslaughter trial starting a week from Monday. So, I mean, I have other things going on. This isn't my only duty, if that makes sense.
I get it.
So-
But do you see why, you know, this is...
I see where you're coming
This
from.
is
I'm
another
just
reason
saying
why
it's not.
I need this request, man.
I don't
because
want
it's
to have
not-
litigation with you. Like, I'm
Right.
not looking for a fight. I'm not looking to use arbitrary or capricious actions. That's not what I'm doing. But my advice to the entire building is treat everyone the same on every issue. And so if we require a mailing address for everyone, then we require it for everyone.
But that's going to get,
So-
know y'all are going to wind up in court over that, because I'm not. That's the
And
thing.
that's fine. That's your
not
right.
only-
But I'm just saying I don't see how I would lose if we're saying we're treating everyone the same every time.
Because that gets into chilling the, because then you get into larger issues than just that. You get into constitutional right violations when it comes to chilling a right under the you're looking at it solely from the standpoint of the 14th Amendment, the equal protection of the laws. But
Not solely. Let me just say, do rights come with responsibilities?
yeah,
So I have a right
yeah,
to carry, don't I?
yeah,
Do I have a responsibility not to shoot someone
Yeah.
when it's not in self-defense or some exception? I have a right of free speech, don't I? Can I yell fire in a theater?
no.
So there's limitations or there's responsibilities associated with the rights. And
Well,
so
there's
what
time, place, and
Utah-
manner restraints on.
That's right. It's not a content restriction on your freedom of speech if the state of Utah says. I mean, I'm not saying we as a county, we're just applying the state statute.
Okay.
And so your fight isn't with me, it's with the Utah statute, right? It's either with the legislature or trying to find a lawsuit to declare the statute unconstitutional.
But I also have to have the standing to challenge it and see, does Morgan County want to be that standing? Because as soon as y'all challenge me on that, then I have the standing to bring it forward. That's the thing. I don't have the standing to really bring it forward and challenge it until somebody denies me. And that's when, being an activist, a journalist and an activist, I come in, I file what I need to file, and I get it changed.
And that's fair, and that's your right. And so the answer to your question is, does Morgan want to be the poster child or the one? No, we don't. But what other options do I have if that's what we've required from the beginning? Because then I'm looking at an equal rights violation.
I think you're looking at something a lot bigger on my end than, like, you're looking at a hypothetical on maybe somebody's going to. That's not the case, man. Like, people realize they've been doing things wrong all the time, and they make changes. I mean,
and that's fair, but the same person that brought you to Morgan County has made requests, and he's had to follow that statute. And so I'm not talking about a hypothetical lawsuit. I'm talking about actual threats made multiple times over. And so I have to weigh what, do the best I can with what's been given me. I didn't deal this hand to myself. Things come to my office, usually not initiated by me. And then I roll with the punches as they come. And so, once again, I can only, I'm trying to be super transparent with you. I'm not hiding stuff. I'm telling you exactly why and what's this related to. And
well, then, y'all need to just turn over the records, man. Like,
and we will.
I'll give you the...
Yeah, just send it to me and we'll turn over the records.
But,
it's not
like this, the clerk down the hallway telling me that I would need to go to the state review board. I was like, why? Literally the only reason why y'all denied my request was no address. So if I'm giving you an address, then what's the reason to take it to the state review board anymore? The issue is solved.
I think the issue's moot if you provide the address, because then you've complied with the statute.
That's what I was trying to tell her, and it was like trying to eat Jell-O with chopsticks. You know what I'm saying?
And she may not have understood. I can't speak. I wasn't there, but I can tell you, where I'm coming from, and if you provide what the statute requires, then my recommendation is, okay, process the request, get it done. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do want to. I want to get to the bottom of why Kylie denied my fee waiver, because, that's,
I can talk to her about that. She may not understand.
I don't know how many fee waiver requests y'all get, how many members of media y'all have, but I guess that would be another thing, because if y'all do get media requests, if all of them are getting approved for fee waivers, then your very argument about equal protections and doing things for others becomes moot. Because now,
Absolutely, and
now
I'm
you've
agreeing
got-
with you. I'm not saying that but I haven't been looped in on the fee waiver. You've
Right.
brought it to my attention now. I can have that conversation. She might not have understood your news source or whatever, right?
But she could have asked instead of
She could have.
denying, and that's
I know.
and that's the thing, is that gets into exactly what you were saying about doing something different for one than to others. Because I was at one that things were done different to right there, and see, this could be easily, the statute says mailing address, so all y'all simply had to do is just comply with the GRAMA statute, which I'm in compliance with a PO box, and obviously understand why I have this. I don't want to give out my physical address, because I've explained that over and over. Like, I'm not. It's not just me putting my feet down, saying I'm refusing to ID or whatever. Obviously I'm not going to do that unless there's
But I think what you're
reasonable
saying,
suspicion. But
I mean, the things that you're bringing to my attention are things that you and I agree on.
I know.
And so
But
it becomes
I'll
an
just-
education opportunity, or maybe it's a misunderstanding from Kylie's perspective, not realizing the media connection or not recognizing the news. I had never heard of it till you came in
But
here.
they could make that. Y'all could easily make that same thing and say, well, maybe it was a misunderstanding. Yeah, we generally take physical addresses, but we went ahead and we let the records go to him with a mailing address, like it says in the statute, PO box. Well, we'll not do that next time. But it can
But I don't know
easily
what
be
we're
the
fighting
same
about.
type
I think
of
we're
thing.
on the same page, Don.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
I guess.
I think we're good.
But yeah, no,
So-
I was just touching on the thing
Yeah,
about the
I
whole,
mean-
about the equality.
Right.
What's done for one is done for the other. So
And I'm not saying that your fee request should be denied. Like, I totally agree. So I'll look at the request. I'll work with Kylie, make sure that she's understanding everything that we've talked about. But I don't think we're opposing. I think
Right.
we're on the same page, saying, here's a statute. You're going to send it in. We're going to treat you like everyone that requests a fee waiver that's a media source, right? News source. I think we're on the same page.
sounds good.
So, okay.
What's that, 9?
Yeah.
9.
Hey, good chatting. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Like I said, I stayed after I finished my meeting because I saw your email and I thought,
Well, I called up
I'm
here a
gonna-
couple of times, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if they're just not wanting to answer my calls, seeing the ID. So, well,
I've got-
this is probably something better for me
Yeah.
to go up there in person and get,
no, I think it's great.
because I know that somebody's got to speak to me if I go up there in person.
Well, and I've got 2 staff out at training the
Right.
next 2 days, and so I've been in meetings and I don't get all the phones and all the doors even.
Gotcha.
So, okay, Don.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Take care.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Take care.
Oh, I love these.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Okay.
I'm very nice to it, so I always say good morning. Seriously.
I heard they say that like the please and the pleasantries cost so much more data processing.
Oh,
They say actually
don't do it.
Yeah, it's just an extra nuance.
It's kind of funny because mine will joke with me now and make fun of like land use things and crack jokes. Really? Yes. It's pretty funny.
Are we gonna be in the standard Inquirer?
Huh?
Are we gonna be in the standard Inquirer or what is it?
Yeah, just
My little hand.
what y'all have going on in here?
Government at work, just a working meeting.
That's why I was scoping it out, just to see what our local government is doing.
We talked through it, I think so.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks again, thanks again.
Thanks, John. You too.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Who you happy with?
Oh, I see the recorder's office. So that was my invitation in, right?
Yeah,
The recorder.
absolutely.
So what do y'all do?
Well, we're the record holders of Morgan County. So anybody recording documents, we hold the documents and record it. And
Would that be like land parcels and properties and?
yep, all parcels are all property in Morgan County.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Well, good deal. Yeah, I drove a ways to come over here. Had some real reasons to come down here. I had to get some answers on, and so I wasn't in a hurry to leave since I got here. I didn't want to just get here and then turn right straight around,
For sure.
turn around and head back out.
For sure.
So, what's your name?
My name's Sean.
John? I'm
Sean.
Don. Oh, Sean?
Yep.
I'm Don.
Charles.
Charles?
Yep.
Don, nice to meet you. All right, well, good deal. Yeah. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate your hospitality.
You're very welcome.
Yep.
Good day.
You too. Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay, our building is closed for the day.
All right. Yeah, I was just sending this email to Garrett real quickly. 8416. One six 84016. Hey, what's that lady's name down in the police department? The records?
Who?
Whoever's down there, it's not Kylie. It's
Who was down there today?
yeah, Kylie was not there, so huh?
Oh, sorry, I'm new. I'm not good with everybody's name yet.
Well, can I find out from them?
It.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing? Hey. You found a name for him?
No, they had other things they needed from me at the moment.
Okay. Well, I just need to find out the lady's name real quickly.
Our public website has everyone's.
It shouldn't be that difficult to get a name. This is y'all are public employees. I'm
Oh,
just
no,
I'm simply
you're not gonna fight with me, sir. No, I'm a janitor. Don't fight with me.
I'm not fighting with you. I'm just simply trying to find out what the lady's name is down there. That's all I want to know is what the lady's name is down there.
I couldn't help you. Sorry, sir.
All right. Well, I mean, it does apply with you because you are paid with public funds, ma'am. So I'm just simply trying to find out a lady's name. Hey, do y'all have the lady's name down there?
I don't. You'd have to call the lady's name down there. I don't even know what lady you're talking about.
The one that's in the police records. It's not Kylie. It's
There's a few of them down there.
oh, y'all are just not trying to give me the name.
Ready to go? Did she not give you her name?
No. And that's the thing. I got that's something I need to get.
So I would just call the office in the morning and ask who you spoke with, and they can tell you.
Somebody
I don't know who you talked to.
somebody in here has got to know who that lady is.
Well, there's
Y'all-
multiple people that work there.
she just said there was just her and Kylie.
No. There's multiple people that work in that office. Let me see if I can find somebody for you,
All right.
and you can copy him.
Yeah, because she was very unprofessional. I mean, she like. I have every right to get her name. She was.
Yeah.
She was.
Give me just a second. Let me find somebody for you. You see him down there?
Trying to help you.
I appreciate it. I'm not trying to cause any issues. I came up here. I'm a member of the press. I have a news site, and I was trying to. Huh?
You said you're a member of the press?
Yeah.
Which member? Which press?
I'm with We the People News.
We the People News? Okay. What's your first name? I'm here.
I'm Don.
Don? Yep, no problem. So you know. Okay. Thanks. Yep, see you later. Time to go. Building's closed.
Hey, I know. I was just simply asking what the lady's name was down there. That's all I was waiting. Like they didn't have to call the police. I wasn't trying to cause a disturbance. I was just waiting for somebody to tell me. They said they were going down there to find out, and then I guess they called you. Was I left here to think that I was waiting on them coming back, and they called you?
I have no idea. The building's closed. You need
Did
to leave.
you get a call from them? No.
No, the building is closed. You need to leave.
I know. I'm just simply trying
Okay,
to find
see you
out
later.
what the name. Can I get your name?
Nope.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Who are you with? Sheriff's office?
Other door. Have a good day.
What's your name and badge
Please
number?
drive
You've got to,
safely.
hey, you've got to identify.
drive safely.
You've got to identify yourself.
Good night.
What's your name and badge number?
Have a good night.
What's your name and badge number, you fat piece of shit? Lousy motherfucker, fuck you. Oh yeah, I see what's going on. You wouldn't give your name. Look at this shit.